a part 3 of the story by Augustine Burroughs, Pest Control. So now he's trying to keep the tooth fairy from coming in his door. Let's see. Then I climbed back into bed and prayed to Jesus. At this point I wasn't sure where I stood Jesus-wise, although my parents never attended church or mentioned Jesus except when they screamed at each other, and then they used his full name, Jesus fucking Christ. They did explain that he was a man who lived in the sky and granted wishes to certain people he liked. So I prayed, Dear Jesus, please keep it out of my room. I promise that I will be honest and very nice to everybody. And I love my mother and my father and brother and all my relatives here and over in Cairo, Georgia. And I love everybody that I know and even people I don't know now, but I will know someday. And I promise everything. Please keep it out of my room and away from me. Thank you, Jesus fucking Christ. Somewhat relieved, but not altogether certain I was saved, I eventually drifted to sleep, only to awaken the next morning seeing a smear of blood on the cream satin pillowcase, and there, right under my shoulder, next to the pillow, my tooth, bloody and with a horrible dark root thing attached. I began to cry. I got out of bed as fast as I could and looked closer at the pillowcase. It was blood all right, and a lot of it, and that was my tooth. And it didn't look smooth and pretty, but weird and awful and out of my mouth. I ran into the bathroom to look at my face, and there in the corner of my mouth, more blood. I cried harder. I ran back to the bedroom and lifted the pillow to see where the money was, but there was nothing, just the tooth and another streak of blood. I didn't even put my pants on. I just ran downstairs in my underwear, sobbing, looking for Caroline. Baby, what's the matter? She said. She was in the kitchen, standing at the sink, draping a paper towel over the length of dental floss she had strung between the two cabinets. My grandmother always rinsed her paper towels and used them again, even though my grandparents lived in a mansion that my mother called half the damn size of Georgia. She turned the water off and dried her hands hastily on her apron. She bent down. Sweetness, what is the matter? You stop that crying right now. What happened? For lack of words, I opened my mouth, showed her the black hole, the pit that ached and tasted metallic like blood. She inhaled. Oh, look at you, big boy. I said, it came and it knocked my tooth out. And then it left and there was blood everywhere and I don't know how to get it in. And I prayed to Jesus, but it came anyway. And then I cried some more. My grandmother stroked my head. There, baby. It's okay. What are you fussing about? What came? What is it? The tooth fairy. It came and took my tooth and looked, but there wasn't anything under the pillow, like you said. It didn't give me money. It just took. My grandmother sighed. Well, baby, sometimes the tooth fairy, she gets the date wrong, you know what I mean? You know how sometimes you get mixed up and you have to do something at school, only you forget which day, and so you don't do it? I had no idea what she was talking about. I just knew I wanted to get on the first Eastern Airlines jet home. Listen, it's okay, she said, leading me by the arm out of the kitchen and into the bedroom. You sit yourself right here, she said, tapping the soft, thick comforter on the bed. Then she walked across the room and got her purse. She pulled out her wallet, showing me. See, baby, I think the tooth fairy must have put your money in here by mistake. Then she pulled out a 50. See, look at this, she cried, lifting the crisp bill out of her wallet and placing it in my hand. This was meant for you, sugar, for you. The tooth fairy, she made a little error. It can happen to anyone, even a fairy. She made a little mistake and she put your money into my wallet. Imagine that. I took the money and looked at it. It looked just like a regular money, except something was different. It's a 50, sweetie. Do you know what that means? I didn't know what that meant. I knew exactly what that meant. I did know what that meant. I knew exactly what that meant. I got an allowance, and that was 1. This was the same size as the 1, but you could buy 50 times more things with it. Are you sure I'm supposed to have this? I'm absolutely sure, she said. The tooth fairy just had the wrong tooth. And I think